There are so many cool anime out there with badass concepts that immediately falls flat to what people expect them to be, or simply to what they're supposed to be. Stars here guys, and today 10 anime that messed up trying to be what they are not. And at number 10 we have Isekai. There are lots of things I could say about the mistakes of this show. It follows some high school kids who hunt down supernatural creatures, but that's not always what happens. This anime was made by Studio Arms, which was previously, and I'm not kidding here, a hentai company. And you can definitely tell. After all, aesthetic of Rogue Hero, Ikito-sen, Queen's Blade, yeah, it's all them. And you know some of the old hentai what's popular, you know, stuff like Immoral Sisters, yeah, it's them. If you search Isekai on Wikipedia, they'll tell you that it's supernatural and dark fantasy. To think an anime that has to do with slaying supernatural creatures will turn out more like this, not like this. There's fan service, so much fan service that if you're watching the bathroom scenes on Crunchyroll, they look like an explosion in a white powder factory. There is so much wasted potential here. I would like to shoot down these people, but I won't, because in reality, what we got was exactly what we should have expected. And at number 9 we have Hinamatsuri. There is one word that I'm afraid of when it comes to anime. Comedy. There is a multitude of comedic series to choose from, but in as much as they are described as comedy, they often fail to make me laugh, except for some that actually did succeed to pass as comedy to the general public, some of which are Konosuba, Gintama, Prison School, and to some extent Grand Blue. And Hinamatsuri. But not the whole Hinamatsuri. There is no doubt that Hina is the main protagonist of the show and Nita is actually secondary, but the whole point of what Hinamatsuri is relies on Hina and Nita's relationship with one another. But as the anime progresses over time, Nita began fading into the background, drifting their contact with each other, which is where the whole comedic aspect of Hinamatsuri lies. The anime starts focusing more and more on Hina and her friends, which didn't lead to many funny outcomes. And if it's a comedy that doesn't lead to anything funny, then it's not funny. They only needed to keep Hina and Nita on screen like they always did before, not change the show into an all-girl slice of life anime. Number 8, now it's time for Black Bullet. Black Bullet is an anime that underachieved given the premise that it contained. It's a humanity vs monster survival anime, so one would expect that the anime would actually be humanity versus the monsters. However, the anime is filled with cliche anime elements that the show honestly could have done without. And what's with the way they scream out the names of their attacks like some kind of superpowered anime?
Kokutenfu! Hidden Bullet Kokutenfu!
Just imagine if Aaron was like, Big Titan Slash! Or Levi was like, Titan X Super Slash! Yeah, it wouldn't nearly be as good as it is with these simple hack and slashes. Black Bullet became more of an ecchi romance instead of an action survival. A more parent-like relationship between the MC and Enjo and Tina too would have made for a nice character chemistry and wholesome moments that the show honestly could have benefited from, like so many other anime has, with their deep bonding. But I guess they just sort of decided that the husband and wife relationship between a grown man and two 10-year-old girls was the best way to go. Destroying whatever tension the show honestly could have built up if one of those characters was on the brink of death, which of course we know would actually happen. And at number 7 we have Campione. Campione is an anime I'll always infamously remember as the anime of kisses. And kisses, so a whole lot of kisses. It follows a high schooler who killed a god and gained the power to kill other gods and evolved into what is known as a Campione. Campione are known as these all-powerful beings with the power to rival gods, except he is almost completely useless without girls kissing him all the time. His power is literally fueled by girls kissing him, and that's it. Every battle in the series just gives way to more kisses and more kisses, a whole lot of kisses. Not what I was expecting given this anime to watch about a Demon King teenager who is feared by the whole world.
Is a demon, for no earthly living being possesses the power to resist him.
It is not this action, low and tension the show tries to drive itself as being, it's just a plain out ecchi anime. If the anime had completely accepted that it is an ecchi anime like High School DxD does, it would have been better. But they try to fool you into thinking they are what they are not, resulting to a crappy feeling when you actually finish watching the anime. And at number 6 we have My First Girlfriend is a I'm not even gonna try to sugarcoat my words here. This is the worst ecchi anime I have ever seen. It's plain out bad. It literally starts with a penny shot in your face, with the absurd amount of fan service and the dirty language.
I'm gonna you so hard, you won't want to get with Yukana ever again!
How is it that this anime still has the most spectacularly awful fan service scenes in the history of fan service? It gives ecchi anime a bad name, because this isn't an ecchi anime for horny teenagers like it appears, it's an anime for children. How else do you explain this ridiculous censorship? To think an anime where the girls flash that bust to you whatever chance they get, along with the dirty languages like you just heard, would actually have some decent fan service to accompany it. But don't get your hopes up. I felt so terrible when I watched this anime that I would rather rewatch Kiss Sis then finish this thing. And at number 5 we have Kisses. Kisses is on this list for one simple reason. It should have been hentai, not an ecchi anime. The show is jam-packed with ecchi scenes that go so far they're not even legible fan service anymore. They're just plain out H scenes, man. I mean, there are a lot of anime out there that goes beyond what Kiss X does, but at least in those shows the animators actually did what they are supposed to be doing, with all the anime being uncensored and all. But the thing is, Kisses has no uncensored version. There are no complete nudity, no naughty lady bits like you would expect. All the girls just carry blank boobs, which is laughable because you have this ecchi anime that does everything an ecchi anime does, but does it all so poorly. It's remembered as a punchline rather than an actual ecchi anime, and it has way more ecchi scenes than most ecchi anime. I don't know what the animators were thinking when they tried to make this family friendly. You can't make a Devil May Cry games without slashing demons. You can't make a video game about exploring a world without a world to explore. Those examples are exactly what is wrong with Kiss X. They tried to make an ecchi anime for the horny fandom and somehow tried to make it family friendly, which is the exact thing that makes My First Girlfriend Is a Gal as bad as it is. Not that Kisses is actually bad, it just wasn't done in the way that it should have been. Now we have Mirrorlight Colors Phantom World. Now Phantom World is a show that I would call wasted potential. The synopsis of the anime will tell you that this is an anime set in the future, where an accident has caused a new generation of kids to be born with special esper abilities, and able to perceive otherworldly beings simply called phantoms. The protagonist and his friends hunts and seals these creatures away to stop them from causing mischief. It sounds cool, like some kind of anime supernatural Ghostbusters like Mob Psycho 100 or something, but that's not quite what this is. What this anime was, however, oh wow, not good. And the way they actually fight these phantoms are just as bad. They do it by saying weird things which sounds like a magical spell gone wrong, which is just off-putting.
Breaking, 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 breaking into the tune of creation. Tuning in, tuning in, tuning in, tuning in. Now I tunnel the flames.
That's weird.
And wrong too, because these children are basically espers. They don't need to say these things. That's not how psychic ability works. Like the main girl has to be touching herself while saying her own chant in the middle of a battle. Like who thought that this would be a good idea?
My disappointment is immeasurable.
And the way they use the timing of this anime is just wrong, because they spend less time hunting phantoms than they do with showing how cute girls do cute things. The anime is boring and slow, which is a shame to what should essentially be anime Ghostbusters.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
And even the other one I mentioned at the start of this video, Isuka, as terrible as it was and very similar to Mirrorlight Colors Phantom World, is way more entertaining to watch than Phantom World, which in theory should be way better. Kyoto Animations got really hammered for this show that they decided to redeem themselves by making other much better anime, that is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid and Violet Evergarden. And at number 3 we have Killing Bites. If you've seen my top 10 uncensored anime part 3 video, then you've already heard a few things I have to say about this anime. First of all, Killing Bites is supposed to be an anime about fights to the death. There are a lot of anime out there that are like this, but Killing Bites failed hard to be counted among them, because most of the time it's not even clear what this anime is supposed to be doing. Are they trying to kill each other? Are they trying to make love to each other? I can't freaking tell. The lack of good direction that it has clashes with the great show that this could have been. Darwin's Game, Kangen Ashura Batum. These are just 3 great anime that are very similar to this and yet so different, because unlike those 3 and many others like them such as Juni Tyson's Zodiac War, Killing Bites has no proper sense of direction to what it should be doing or to what it even is. Handshakers. Now Handshakers is exactly what it is, but the problem is that they try to do too much of what they were already doing, resulting in an anime that feels empty with no real strong points to speak of, even though there should be enough to speak of. The real downfall of Handshakers is that the developers were not equipped or maybe too lazy to handle the vision they were going for. Even though these characters are constantly fighting, the anime has no real sense of danger. They try to pass these characters as desperately fighting for themselves. It immediately contradicts that as the fight ends and they go back to the real world with only minor injuries that don't even last long. Everyone who ends up hurt in this anime just turns up completely fine afterwards, which means none of the fights carry any sort of consequences, because once again, the anime has no sense of danger. And that is wrong for this type of anime. Take a look at Juni Tyson, which is very similar to Handshakers, only much better. It's a battle royale anime where the winner gets their wish granted, just like Handshakers. But unlike Handshakers, the sole focus of everyone here is how to thin out the competition, which is exactly how this type of anime should be. From Fate's Stay Night to Future Diary, even Tower of God fares better in this department than Handshakers. It was just too cool for an anime where everybody fights everybody. Even leaving aside the CG, if it was like any of those other anime, it really would have gone well for a lot of people. Too bad the creators didn't do that. And now at number 1 we have the first season of Princess Connect Redive. Now this is an anime that most people who just happen to stumble upon would most likely find themselves disappointed. The reason being that the entire first season of the anime is very unlike what the first 10 minutes of the first episode suggested it would be. It starts with a guy waking up on some mysterious plane along with someone who's obviously a unique being. But due to some dangerous events in his past, he has lost all of his memories. So one would expect that the anime would contain lots of things about his past as he slowly regains his memories. But none of this actually rolls around until season 2. As soon as he leaves this place and drops into the world, it is followed by a season-long, boring, stereotypical, nothing happening fantasy anime. All the major events of the anime takes place in the second season, but at that point most people had already stopped watching. And I almost did too, but I was really told that the second season makes it worth it. And to some degree it actually did. The boring slice of life anime of cute girls doing cute things, that is the entire season 1, was done to get you to become attracted to the characters. But considering that most people never even make it past season 1 to get to the real story, they didn't quite achieve that goal. There were tons of better ways they could have gone about it. Put into the right hands, the anime could have been a hit. Just look at the animation, it is beautiful. And I didn't notice this until this season 2 because I tuned out most of this season 1. It was meant to promote a game, so at the very least the anime should have been something that people can remember. But it doesn't matter now because the game already shut down just 2 years after its launch for unknown reasons, which I could guess. It's trivia time. Did you know that making anime is so time consuming because a single episode of an anime can have over 200 redrawn pictures? Damn! Just for one episode? Now that is wildly impressive. We need to give this animator some more credit. I'm gonna bring you more content like this in the future. A subscription is the best way to get notified when they show up. My name is Taz, this is Watchmojo, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thanks for watching.